Well, for our final story tonight, we turn to the power of creativity and the people working behind the scenes to make it possible. Pursuing a creative passion doesn't always come with a steady paycheck, and finding affordable studio space to create is also a challenge. One local business has found a way to help with the latter. Carolina Impact's Dara Khalid and videographer Russ Hunsinger take us inside Activation Studios to learn more.
Step inside Activation Studios and prepare for your eyes to go on a visual journey they likely won't forget. From rusty undersea creatures that almost look too scary to touch, to an old school phone covered in graffiti.
It's about overwhelming the senses.
The mastermind behind curating pieces from local artists inside the 3-story 1950s building is co-founder and operations manager Matt Alvis. Matt doesn't keep any of these creations a secret. The entire building becomes an art gallery that the public can walk through and even purchase items from in a monthly event called Final Fridays.
It's a meet and greet opportunity, open house, and it's a really good way to stay in shape.
Stay in shape is right, because there are 3 floors to explore, each one with their own unique style. But you have to take this staircase. Thankfully, though, there are vibrant murals to keep you amused along the way. Let's head down to the bottom floor to show you what's there.
This is our music practice recording space. Various bands come in during the week.
This spot is called Moss Haven, and on Final Fridays, it flips into a music venue where artists perform live, touching audiences with original lyrics.
So show me, baby, that...
Heading back up to the 2nd and 3rd floors is where you'll see all of the artwork. But what you may not know is that these floors also serve as studio space for the artists who created it.
The studios have 4 artists per room.
Back in 2024, when Matt and his friend Logan Phillips created the business, they were very intentional about making the spaces affordable for artists. So they only have to pay $100 a month in rent.
The most meaningful part to me is when some of the artists here land larger contracts, like murals, pushes them one step closer to having it as their full-time job.
But in order to keep the rent low, there's a catch.
Activation Studios' mission is to find places that are marked for renovation, demolition, temporarily unavailable.
Which means...
sometimes these pop-ups last for 3 weeks. We take over a building and then we're out of there.
Matt and Logan negotiate lower prices from building owners and use that discount to keep the artist's monthly rent affordable. The only caveat is, when the building owner says it's time to go, it's time to go, keeping Activation Studios constantly on the move. Despite the possibility of only having a few months left in the current building, artist Lindsay Medler, whose whimsical studio is on the 3rd floor, doesn't seem to mind the risk because of the reward.
Activation Studios has helped my career by putting me on the map, set you up for the possibilities of commissions and clients.
Lindsay's made her little nook her own, creating a space where she can paint and beautifully arrange pieces made for her company, I'm Here for Plants.
My mom got me in art classes when I was 4.
Lindsay tells me her mom always encouraged her to follow her passion. But after losing her mom to breast cancer in 2019, the pain kept her from painting.
When I lost her, I was gifted an immaculate amount of plants. When I received those plants, I started to have a hobby again, and through those plants, I learned how to self-care.
Which ultimately led her back to her true love of painting and starting a business to honor her mom.
And I just told myself that I was not going to tell myself no anymore, being an artist, and that she always told me yes. So I was gonna say yes, and stepped out into community 2 years ago and got here.
Being here at Activation Studios has allowed her to share a building with other talented creators, like Super Daft Bros.
There's a giant button up here that kind of just lets it explode with color.
Color, bright flashing lights, and futuristic creations that make you say, wow.
I want people to get up close to it, touch it, feel it, interact with it.
Ian McCormick is one half of the business he started with his college friend William Bonkum. The duo have been creating light-up pieces across Charlotte for years and officially established their company in 2023 after being commissioned by the Charlotte Hornets for a 9-foot sculpture you may have stopped by to take a picture with at the Spectrum Center, just like I did.
When it was on display, it had 36 of these light-up hexagons showing moments throughout the Hornets' history.
Whether they're using Activation Studios to make art that looks like it comes from the future or from Magical Forest, these artists find peace knowing they have an affordable place to create what they love, despite not knowing where the next stop on the journey will be. For Carolina Impact, I'm Dara Khalid.